All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Lang Trading Chat Room. As always, if you're new, it's going to go something like this. I'm going to start off. I'm going to review the market bias, take a look at the SPY and the QQQ, determine which way we think the market's going to head today. After that, I'm going to review the favorites list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. We got long ideas in green. We got short ideas in red. As always, these ideas are not meant to be just blindly bought or sold. We are pattern traders, so we need a pattern to trade them. If you have any comments, questions, concerns throughout the stream, make sure you throw it up in the chat log, as well as make sure you guys are practicing proper money management. This is a very challenging business. You're not going to get rich quick. You're not going to earn while you learn. Make sure you put the time in, put the work in, and practice that proper money management. If you want to succeed, you got to last. So with that, let's get started on the markets, guys. So SPY Qs both gapping down today under yesterday's red bar. So we gapped up yesterday, kind of sold off early, and then just really chopped around right at that support area in the 413, 414 area. And now we're gapping under that, underneath this trend line that we've been holding for about a month now, actually, a little over a month since March 13th. We've been just grinding up on this trend line, higher, higher, higher. And now today we're gapping under a little bit, right? It's going to be tested, no doubt. So we put in a red bar, come down to 410. This could be the first start of a little bit of a pullback. We'll see how we react though, because we're still kind of in this range, like between like 414 to 410. You can see it a little bit better on the 15-minute chart. We got some support at 411, 410. Got the resistance up here in the 414 area. So kind of in a little bit of a range here. Not super bearish, not super bullish. I am leaning towards the bearish side because we are gapping under everything we did yesterday. So a little bit of room down to this 411 spot, but yeah, just kind of in a tight little range. It's been tough trading so far in April, as you can see, even more so on the Q. Since the start of the month, we've just really been chopping around in this range. It's been a $8 range we've been hanging out in since the start of the month. And I mean, we've had single day, like this day, one day right here was $10 day. So this $8 range is pretty tight to be chopping around for that long on the SPY in the Qs. So yeah, just kind of staying patient again, guys. Leaning towards more so on the bearish side for the Qs. You can see under this 316 area, got a little bit of a void down to 313, but still, we're still in this range. So until we break out or break down, it's going to be a little bit tough to pick a direction. So leaning towards the bearish side, but again, just stay open-minded. Don't rush into anything. Let the market kind of show you its hand today, all right? Let's get going on the list here, though. First up, we have this ABT, a really nice gap, gapping over this red bar. So got the shock value that we like to see over the moving average into a really nice void. There's no real pivots. Next area we got to be concerned about is the like 112 area, 113. So plenty of range. Doing pretty decent volume in the pre-market. Nothing special, but yeah, 42,000 shares in the pre-market. So nothing crazy, but definitely a nice gap with some good enough volume. So keep an eye on the ABT, probably my top long idea. Next up, we have Wall. I'm not sure what this is. Wall, Western Alliance Bancorp. So looks like it's been trading a little bit odd here. Had that big sell-off. I think this might honestly be tied with that SVB somehow, but so we're gonna be careful trading this thing. But I mean, nonetheless, it is gapping up over quite a bit of bars, so we're gonna keep an eye on it. Got that little pivot up here at what was it, 42.53. So keep an eye on it. Again, bit of an odd trading stock, so we're not going to rush into that one at all. And next one up, USB, same sort of thing, a little bit cleaner, but this one was also gapping up more in the pre-market. So pulling in a little bit more now, so I don't like it as much, but worth keeping an eye on. It does have earnings today, so we'll watch the Wall and the USB. both that same banking sector as well. So be mindful of that. Next up, we got Netflix gapping down, gapping under a little bit of resist or support. We got a little bit of room to run, not a ton, not super hot to trot on Netflix. You can see this 321 area. We have a moving average right here and an hourly chart. We have this pivot over here. We have what was resistance. So 321 is a little bit of a support area. We do have some room to get down there. If we do get under that spot, then we have more room to drop. But not going to be super stoked to trade that above that area. So just be mindful of that. Next up, we have Tesla. So Tesla is gapping down, has earnings after the close today. So I like it quite a bit under 176. Under 176, this thing has a lot of room to drop, another like 14 bucks. So keep an eye on the Tesla if it gets down there. Until it does that, it's going to be tough to take. I mean, it's still got a double bottom support until it breaks that. So under 176, I like it. Next up, we have Cisco. So Cisco's gapping down under this little pivot right here, this pivot right here at 49 bucks. So, I mean, this is probably my favorite short idea, guys. Look at the hourly chart. It looks really nice. Gapping under one, two pivots, easy room down to this area at like 48.37. So, this thing only does like 80 cents a day, and it's got right about 80 cents or so. So, exactly what you want to see with the Cisco gapping down, good volume. So keep an eye on this one short. Next up on the long side, we got Coca-Cola, KO. So this one is gapping up just a little bit. Not doing crazy good volume, about 30,000 shares in the pre-market. It does have a little bit of junk over here to the left in the $64 area. But I mean, it is gapping up in a market that's gapping down. It has been a pretty strong stock for a little while, so keep an eye on this one. Actually, I wonder if is Pepsi doing anything today? But yeah, you can watch Pepsi as well. Not as much volume in the pre-market. You can see here it's only doing 2,000 shares as opposed to Coca-Cola doing 30,000. But you can keep an eye on that beverage sector, I suppose, looking a little bit higher. Next up, we have SPR. So this one is gapping up just a slight little bit. The main reason I have it on my list is because it has the gap fill right here. It is trying to get over that 200 period moving average. This one really is not my favorite idea. This is a pretty sideways trend, no clear direction. So it could fill the gap, run up to 32 area, but not super hot to trot on this one. So just be mindful of that SPR going into today. Next up, we got Intel. So Intel's pretty nice, other than it's got a hard target. Hard target at the $30 area. You can trade it down there. It does about $1 a day in range, so it has the range to get to 30. But I really am not looking to get anywhere past that. You can see how on this hourly chart, this was an area of resistance right at the $30 mark, and now it's gapping down, so it's most likely going to be an area of support, as well as we have moving average on the daily, moving average on the hourly. So a lot of support at that $30 mark, but this is a nice gap. It is doing really good volume, so I think it has room to get down to $30, right? All right, markets are open. Let me review this last idea, and then we will jump into trading, guys. So AMD gapping down. Needed to get under this area at like 88 bucks, right at the 50 period moving average. Under that though, I mean, this thing has a lot of room to drop, so keep an eye on the AMD, guys. All right, and let's get into trading. It's market open time. Let's go. All right, all right. So we got. I didn't even get my thumbnail watch list filled out. What am I doing? Man, I'm behind today. Stayed up a little too late last night. Slept in. Come on, Trading View, load up. There we go. There we go. All right. Man, it's a good day. You guys know what today is? Anybody know what today is? It's Hump Day. Bet you didn't see that one coming. It's Hump Day, baby. Wednesday, middle of the week. All right. All right. So we got the watch list up. We got the thumbnail up. Let's check it out, guys. ABT is moving on up early. Keep an eye on that ABT. I like this one, guys. It is moving up. I mean, this is a pretty big move right off the open, so I don't want to see it go too much higher right here. Really like to want to see that thing rest a little bit. Wall is up a little bit. USB is going to be tough to trade, guys. I'm not going to lie. This thing pulled in a lot more than what I wanted it to. Guys, Netflix is looking good short. Keep an eye on the Netflix short. I like this. It's getting right at that 320, 321 area. So keep an eye on Netflix short. I like it. I like it. It's low 329. Yeah, keep an eye on Netflix short. Tesla, if it can get under 176, I do keep an eye on that one. Cisco's looking good early, so I want to watch that for a pattern. Guys, Coca-Cola is looking actually pretty nice right here. Coca-Cola looking pretty nice. Markets are moving up at the moment, looking a little bit higher. Guys, this KO is a little bit tempting right here. We're looking at 63.83, probably low of the day. Probably even get a little bit more than that, honestly. Give it, it's pulling in a little bit here, so we'll keep an eye on it, but it does look good over that high of the day. SPR struggling. Intel's moving on up. AMD as well, so these two don't look too bad. ABT is hanging out, good. Wall is choppy. USB is moving up. Guys, Netflix. I like this Netflix quite a bit. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. Sorry, guys. Man, allergies are just killing me right now. Just absolutely murking me. Hey, how's it going, Casey? I saw your quite the list today. I saw what you were looking at this morning. Got quite the list, my man. I didn't look through every stock, but I was looking through a few of them. I'm looking through a few of those ideas. Not bad. Oh, man. This market's moving on up a little bit right now, guys. Looking a little bit higher. This is what I'm saying. This is a tough spot. Coming up under that 413 area. That's going to be an area of resistance. We'll see if we can't break that or not, but right now it's just looking pretty choppy. So, this ABT, pretty aggressive, especially with the range concern there. It is doing pretty good volume, but the wall's pulling in. USB is. I mean, USB needs to, like, I'm about to get this off my list, honestly. Like, this thing needs to really, really rip in order for it to be tradable. Netflix moving down, Tesla's moving up, Cisco. Guys, let's watch Cisco. I want to keep an eye on Cisco under low of the day. I like that. Man, look at Coca-Cola just rolling over. All right. So there's that. I'm going to check some of these backup ideas. I had a few nice backup ideas here. None of them look like they're doing much so far, so. Alright. You can keep an eye on that Verizon. Verizon's not too bad. But, alright. Let's see here. ABT hanging out. Guys, Netflix is probably one of my favorite ideas right now. Netflix is probably my favorite idea. I like where it's at on this hourly chart. It broke through the resistance pretty well. I mean, it's bouncing up right here, right now, but keep an eye on this thing. Give it like a $4 stop's a little wide, but it does have the range to get there. It does have that range, so keep an eye on the Netflix. Tesla's higher. Like I said, the Cisco doesn't look too bad. Cisco's not too bad. Coca-Cola is just weak all of a sudden. All right. You can watch Verizon as well. Volume is actually it's doing pretty good volume. Pretty good volume here. All right. All right, man. As always, if you guys got any cryptos, ETFs, stocks, whatever it may be, Forex, throw it up in the chat log. I'll look right at it. I'm not seeing much from my list right now, guys. I don't see much from my list doing anything. This wall and USB are both pretty junk. I'm watching Netflix for a potential short. Tesla, not much to do with that right now. And Cisco is looking like a decent short idea. Look at this sell setup it's putting in on the 1 minute here. Right at that 50% retracement. Probably give it how much range? It has good range, about 20 cents left on the range. Probably want to give it. Oh, this is not the right. There we go. Got the VWAP right there. Guys, watch Cisco. This is my top watch right now. Markets are looking like they're struggling a little bit to go higher. Qs are a little bit more bullish than the SPY, but both of them look like they may be pulling back. I don't know. SPY's pretty choppy. We'll see if it breaks under the VWAP. If it breaks under VWAP, might be in for a little bit of a ride to the short side. But I want to keep my eyes on the Cisco. Oh, son of a bitch. There it goes. Well, Cisco's moving. You should have liked it. Cisco's doing it. I don't see anything else. Guys, we can watch this SPR over that resistance at 3077. Watch SPR over 3077. It gives us a pattern. Verizon can be a little bit tough just because you see on this daily it's got a couple moving averages to deal with. I mean, it looks like it's in a void, but might get caught up a little bit. And it's kind of extended on this hourly chart. This is like 8 red bars in a row, so a little bit of a bounce would not be a surprise there. All right, guys. So yeah, just watching the Cisco still. Got my eyes on Cisco. And Tesla has a ton of range left, so if Tesla gets back under low of the day, I'll watch it. Right now, it's looking a little bit stronger, but keep an eye on it. SPYs, almost broke that VWAP. Not quite though. Almost broke the VWAP, but it's holding at the moment. It's holding right now. So guys, I am leaning towards the short side. There's SPYs moving on down. Netflix looking a little lower here as well. So stay patient. We got a little bit of time here still. So Netflix would probably be like a $5 stop loss. That's a little bit wide. XLC. This is communication sector, right? You're looking at. I mean, it did gap down for sure. Looking at some of these sectors are a little bit for day trading purposes. They're really not super good for day trading, just because. I mean, it's pretty thin. It's doing 100,000 shares in the first 5. You can see how kind of like it's spotty and dotty. A little. I really don't trade these sector ETFs just because they're not the smoothest trading stocks. You can see on this a little bit spotty dotty. But yeah, definitely is bearish. Definitely gapping under this resistance or support area. A little bit of room to run down. But yeah, looking more bearish than bullish for sure. Hey, how you doing, Farhad? Good morning, my man. Netflix moving on down. See, this you could have maybe argued to get into like 320 area, but this was not a clean sell setup. I'm looking for clean patterns, not looking for mediocre stuff. All right. Just XLC, you mentioned VZ. Do they correlate? Yeah, no, they definitely do. VZ is probably one of the main components of XLC. Same with AT&T. This one gapping down a little bit. All these communications, Verizon, T-Mobile, OUMN. Yeah, they're all correlated to the XLC. All right, man, my longs are not looking good. ABT is, we can keep an eye on it, but I don't really love it at all. Coca-Cola moving down, SPR chopped around. For day trading, doesn't really matter. Are you trying to like find relative strength and stuff? If you're trying to look for relative strength, it's not a bad idea at all. If the stock you're trying to trade like VZ is a lot weaker than the XLC, then yeah. But for relative strength, I generally just use the SPY, the S&P 500, just because I mean it's a correlation of all the stocks are going to be correlated to that. So market will drop or rise. Shit, man, that's the $600,000 question, isn't it, Farhad? That's the question that everybody wants the answer to: is the market going up or down? If I knew, probably wouldn't be here. Probably be out on the beach in Cancun, getting my shoes to shine. But I mean, right now at the moment, man, it really is just choppy. Like I said, it's kind of what I expected. A choppy, bearish day. Uh, I think we got room to 411, so I'm kind of leaning towards the bearish side right now. Really struggling up here. You can see these big topping tails. This was a green bar. Now it got completely sold into. So sellers are really in control up here in the 412 area. So if we break under 412.20, well, there's really nobody that's buying to hold that up. So I am leaning towards the bearish side, which is why I would like to find some sort of short trade. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Bloodwater with shark in it. Yeah, I mean, that's trading every day. Man, look at that Cisco. That wasn't too bad, man. A little bit bummed I wasn't in this sell setup. Not the cleanest sell setup, but man, it had a wasn't too bad. Would have been like a 45 cent stop loss, down 27 cents. Not bad. Intel and AMD both just moving on up. Verizon moving up too. So not a whole lot to do right here, guys. Just staying patient. We could still trade Netflix. I think Netflix could easily see like a 310, 312 today. But I just need a good pattern. I'm not going to jump into this thing with any sort of entry. Like I need something that's going to not guarantee it. Nothing's a guarantee, but I need something that's going to give me a high probability. All right, we are 15 minutes into the day, so get off this 1 minute chart. No need for that anymore. All right. Yeah, guys, I'm not seeing a whole lot right now. Not seeing a whole lot. The Cisco is probably the best thing out on the 1 minute. I mean, it happened pretty quickly though, so not a ton of time to get that. Like I said, Netflix, still keeping an eye out for that. You can watch Tesla short. Cisco is probably about done at this point. I mean, it's coming up into a lot of support right here in the $48.50, $48.50 area, my bad. So, guys, this has been a tough month of trading. Look at where we started at. First day of April to here. This is it. This is the range we've been trading in. It's an $9 range. $9 range on the Qs since the start of April. We got 11 trading days of just staying in this range. This one bar alone was over $9. Like, this is a very tight, choppy range. It's not easy. If you're looking at Apple Farhad, let's check her out. I mean, Apple is pretty strong, actually. Straight green bars, a lot stronger than the market. It does have a little bit of junk right here. You can see on this 15-minute, but if it gets up over the, like, right that area, like 166.72, the high from yesterday, keep an eye on it. I do like this. Yeah, Apple's kind of holding the markets up right now, probably. Q's and SPY both hanging on for dear life. All right. So the long ideas are definitely struggling right now. KO and USB, or Wall and USB are both just ugly. KO's pulling in pretty good. We can keep an eye on this SPR. Guys, SPR doesn't look too bad, honestly. Over a high of the day, watch it. Watch NVIDIA. Farhan, let's check her out. NVIDIA is another one with some strength. Not as much of a void though. It has right inside of yesterday's bar, so under that 280 area, I'd be careful. I got caught up in that yesterday, getting in under 280. It ended up being a very small loss, like literally like 1/10 of an R, but still, you gotta be careful buying under that resistance. All right. Netflix still hanging out. Tesla's moving on up. Cisco's finding a bottom. Yeah, I don't see much on my list right now. Don't see much. Like I said, Apple's. I mean, if the markets end up going a little bit higher, you definitely watch Apple. Like I said, Apple over that 166.75. I like it. I like it. All right, guys, give me 1 second. All right, we're back. Man, these allergies. Whew. I even took some medicine for it. They ain't doing nothing. All right, check out the Microsoft. I have Microsoft on my backup short list. This one doesn't look too bad. It's been weak. You can see on this 15-minute, should have a little bit of room down to like 284. So we can watch Microsoft under this 285 area. 285 be about $1.20 on the stop, so a little bit more, but it does have range. It is showing some weakness to the market. So yeah, Microsoft is not a bad idea for a short trade. Guys, Netflix is looking interesting. And again, this bottoming tail down here, it's a little bit menacing. It's a lot of buyers stepping up right there. This is really not a great entry. You gotta give it a $6 stop loss. There's no way I'm doing that. No way. Hey, thanks for the follow, Roderick. If you got any questions, make sure you throw them up in the chat log. I will get right on it. It's only going to help you. It's going to help me. It's going to help everybody else in the chat. So don't hesitate. Guys, this SPR is not a bad idea. What's the volume like on this? Oof, this is a little bit thin. 92 in the first 5, or like 250 in the first 20. So I'd really like to see some more volume on that. But it is in a good spot, so keep an eye on the SPR up there. Qs look like they're pulling in a little bit. SPY is just super choppy. Real choppy today, guys. No clear direction on this thing. So, I mean, we can still watch this Tesla short. Tesla short, if it gets, I mean, it's put in quite a few topping tails, has a lot of range left. So, why did you say Microsoft short? Microsoft short because it's much weaker than the markets. See, it gapped down, has a little bit of a void. You see on this 15-minute under this area like 285. Next area supports like 284. So it has a little bit of a void, and it's weaker than the market. You can see here, compare it to the SPY. So the SPY is the lighter colored one. You can see how it's kind of a little bit hard to see, but this thing is putting in red bars at low of the day, and the SPY and the Qs are both kind of hanging out. So this has relative weakness. So if the market ends up moving down, that means this thing should move down more than the market because it's weaker than the market. So between the relative weakness, the void, it has good range. It's only done $2. Average day is 6, so it has range to drop more. So yeah, a few reasons why I like Microsoft short for the moment, and that is just on a daily time frame, not a daily time frame, like a intraday time frame. I'm not saying Microsoft's short like investing wise or swing trading wise, but for today's purposes, for today's trading on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute, it looks shorter than it does long. But again, it's going to be a little bit predicated by the markets. The SPY is really trying to hold up. Qs are pretty choppy as well, so not a clear direction right now, guys. A little bit tough to pick the markets. ABT's finally getting a little bit of a bounce. This wall is, I guess we could watch the wall. It's not doing a terrible job. Over high of the day, still has range, so we can watch it. Watch the wall. WAL. USB, not so much. Did that answer your question, Mr. Sharifi, about Microsoft? If not, just let me know and I can try to clarify it anymore. KO's looking short. All right. Man, it's always a good day when your short ideas are moving up and your long ideas are going down. That always makes for a nice trading day. All right, perfect. Good to hear. So yeah, we can still watch that Apple. It needs to get over that high of the day. Not even high of the day. It needs to get over that 166.75. So the high from yesterday. If it does that, then I like it. All right, perfect. Good. Yeah, guys, Microsoft is actually probably my favorite short idea at the moment. It doesn't have a great pattern for us right now. And that 1-minute sell setup wasn't bad. Yeah, but keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on Microsoft under this 284.50. Be like $1.50 on the stop, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, watch it. See if the markets are up to kind of hanging out. No, I have not taken any trades. I have sat on hands so far this morning. No trades for me. I was looking at the Cisco 1-minute earlier today. I was tempted to get in right here about like 48.88. Yeah, 48.84. Would have been about a 44-cent stop loss. So I would have been chopping around still. But other than that, that was the only position that I was really tempted to take and almost got an order ready for it. Otherwise, it's just been I mean, it's been a pretty choppy morning. Look at the SPY, guys. Look at the SPY. This is just pretty slop. We're in a 58-cent range, almost 30 minutes into the day. So, not any real clear direction on where we're going. We're still, you can see on this 15-minute chart, we got the resistance right here, like 413. It's where we bottomed out yesterday and held. And then there's really not a whole lot of support, honestly. I don't know what's holding us up, but we're holding up right now. So, yeah, just kind of chopping around. I guess we're right at that trend line, getting some moving averages and stuff, but there's really not a whole lot holding us up, which is why I am leaning towards the short side. Amazon strong. This is another one. I mean, if it gets over resistance at 104.20, I like it. If it gets over that resistance, it's got a clear void up to like 107, 106. So, but it's got to get up there first. Yeah, same with Apple. Same with not Microsoft, my bad. Nvidia. All they're right under that resistance area. If they get over that, it looks great. Until that happens, it just reduces the odds, guys. Remember, we are statistics traders. We are odds based traders. Whenever you're trading something like Amazon and you're getting in under resistance, it reduces your odds of it going higher. Whenever you get an over resistance, there's nobody to sell into you. There's nobody here to sell into you. So it just increases your odds that it's going to go in your direction. Man, what a choppy morning. My list is not looking great. Let's check it out. Check out some of the backup ideas. Yeah, not much. All right. On the long side, maybe. Ooh, guys, this SO is looking good. SO. Yeah, keep an eye on this. In fact, I'm about to get an order ready on this. What's the volume looking like? A little bit thin on volume. Got a spread. It's only got a 1 cent spread, but damn, I don't like that volume. Probably go high of the day by low of the day. Guys, all right. Yeah, that thing's breaking out right here. So keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on this SO. I do like it. Keep an eye on SO. That alert. So yeah, top watch on the long side. SO. I mean, it really is thin though. It really is pretty thin. So that is a pretty big concern. I'm not gonna lie, but we can watch it. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on it. It looks like the bullish thing out. Bullishest, most bullish thing out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. It looks good. New stock trading. I was trading crypto forex. Does order flow or fair value gap work on stocks? I'm not extremely familiar with order flow or fair value gaps. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably need a little more clarification because I've only traded stocks. I mean, I've got to like dabbled in a little bit of investing in crypto, but I've never done forex. My main focus has always been stocks. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking there. If you want to send me an email, Mr. Sheriff, and give me like a little more information, or you can type it in the chat log, whatever you want to do. But yeah, you could give me a little more context there because I'm not super familiar with order flow or fair value gap. So just yeah, a little more context and might be able to help you out a little more. Guys, SPR is still looking decent. SPR over high of the day is not a bad idea. Another one with low volume though. Same with like the SO. Same with SO, low volume, but you can keep an eye on it. There you go. Ezekiel will help you out. So fair value gap isn't the same for stocks as it is for forex. So it seems like he knows a little bit more about that. So yeah, there you go. Hey, look at you guys helping each other out, man. Before long, we're gonna have a community of people. Everybody's gonna be helping each other out. It's gonna be like an Amish community. You make the butter, I make the eggs, baby. Let's build a community, build a farm. All right, guys. Markets are man. It looks like it's trying to go higher at this point. We're getting straight topping tails all morning, and it's still trying to push up. We'll see if we get yet another topping tail if we actually end up getting over this 412 area, 412.70. All right. SO and SPR are my two top watches on the long side. Short wise, I really don't have a whole lot. All of my shorts are kind of lacking a little bit. Yeah, none of them are looking too short. You can still watch Microsoft, I suppose. It's still lagging the markets a little bit. It would probably, man, this really is not a clear void though. I'm not gonna lie. If this was like under champion, moving on up right here, so I might be trying to get one of these long ideas. SPR is probably my favorite. 3073. Probably give it. How much range does this have? Oh, it's got good range left. If it gets up here, should have room to about at least 32. We're at 3070. So we got $1.20. Oh my goodness. I could go low today by high today if I wanted. Probably won't. Probably give it like a 34-cent stop loss. Get under that pivot right there under the VWAP. Gives me a good safe place to raise my stop. Alright guys, looking at SPR right now. Looking a little bit higher. SPY is just making this range more of a range. Jeez. This is tough trading. Look at it. When this market's like this, it's hard to pick a direction. It's tough to pick a direction when the market is this choppy. ABT's moving on up. Oh, bless me. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Like I said, man, allergies have just been kicking my ass lately. I don't know what it is, but allergy medicine's not cutting it. All right. Yeah, SPR and SO are the only things I'm really watching right here, y'all. SO and SPR. It's not too bad here. Yeah, it's been very choppy today, guys. I hate saying that because it makes it sound like I'm just like finding an excuse not to trade, but this is really actually a very choppy morning. We got resistance below, we got resistance above, support below, and we have just been staying in that range. Look at the SPY. Tried to break out, right back down, just chopping around. Over 30 minutes into the day as well, so. Oh man, look at SPR, guys. Gee willikers. Woo! Nasty red bar. So, I'm not watching SPR anymore. I still am kind of watching the SO. What did Pep end up doing? What's Pepsi up to? Same thing as Coke. What do you guys? Is this a Pepsi crowd or a Coke crowd? What are you guys on? Honestly, I really have zero preference. I really don't drink soda a whole lot, so. And especially not dark soda. If I'm drinking soda, I'm going for like Sprite or something. So I guess if I'm going for spread, I guess I lean towards the Coke side. Yeah, exactly, Ezekiel. Sit on hands is a position. I say it all the time. Sometimes the best way to make money is to not lose it. The best way to make it is just don't lose it. Especially when it's something that's choppy as this. Like there's no reason to force a trade right now. I am watching this SO though. Probably I want to give it under VWAP, so probably give it. There's tons of range left. Absolute void. Look at this void, guys. This is whenever I say I want my trade stocks to be trading in a void, this is what I'm talking about. The next area that buyers or sellers stepped up was last September. So if we get over that spot, there shouldn't be anybody selling into us. So yeah, watch that SO. Watch the Southern Company. This is a utility, so what's the XLU doing? Check this guy. Look at that. XLU looking like it's going to break out as well. So looks like we might have one of the leaders in the utility sector. Let's check out what the utility sector's got to. SO's down there a little bit. SRE's ripping. So the whole sector looks like it's up. All right. So yeah, watch this SO. Watch the SO. Markets are looking. If you're twisting my arm and forcing me to pick a direction, I am looking towards the long side at this point. I mean, we've chopped around and held support enough, putting in some bottoming tails. Could be moving on up here. So we got about another minute here. So I am going to go ahead and get in here on the SO 7303 by 7276. Gives me some safe spot to raise my stop loss. 7276. All right, so 27 cents. So we need 730. All right. Give this thing a couple pennies here. All right. I really wish this was a little bit cleaner of a breakout. It's not the smoothest pattern. Did really just peekaboo over there, so I got the order ready on SO. I haven't sent it just yet. Markets are moving up, looking like they're breaking out a little bit. So 73. So I mean, I can raise my stop pretty quickly. Oops. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and send this SO 7303 by 7276. Target is 7230 or 7330. So plenty of range to get there. Looking for a breakout over this resistance at the $73 area, like I was saying right here. So one of my main concerns with this is the volume. This is not doing a ton of volume. So let's see here. You're looking at GE, Casey. All right. I'm gonna do a quick scan right here. My thumbnail. All right, I don't see anything. All right, GE. Let's check her out. So you're getting in at $99. So you're getting in right here, right now. Stop loss 6 at 92. So you're under this little shelf right here. Not a bad spot to be. Target of 111. So there's a bit of a ways up there with the target. I mean, this thing is, it's in a nice stage 2, but a little bit extended. On this weekly, you see how here it's getting a little bit up there. I guess the monthly in that doesn't look as bad. All right, guys, we are in SO. We are in Southern Company. So we are in there. But this is like the 4th month up, so I could see this thing running up here, maybe getting over 100, pulling back to this $90 area, and then going a little higher. So not a bad trade at all. Definitely a strong stock. Might have been a little bit better getting in over this buy setup right here, like 95 by the 92 would have already been up an R, but not a bad idea. But it is fourth day up, so a little bit extended here. Could get a pullback before it goes higher. But yeah, definitely a strong stock. Definitely a strong stock in a, I think it's pretty decently strong sector at least. All right, so guys, we are in the SO. Triggered on in there. We got a little bit of slippage. Not too bad, but a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and raise my stop up here from 76 to 82. All right. So now instead of the what was it, 27-cent stop, I only have a 21-cent stop. So what is that? Do a little quick math. Right at that 3/4 of an R we need. All right, cool. So see if we can get another pop. I'm probably raising my stop up to like this pivot is 72.87. So here we are. We are in the SO. Don't see much else I like right now. The wall and USB just ended up being absolute junk. KO is pretty sloppy. SPR not much. The ABT wasn't bad. Honestly, ABT in hindsight wasn't too bad. Aggressive buy setup right here. 108.85, like a probably 80, 85 cent stop loss. I mean, it ripped. It got up to right where you needed to. 1 minute didn't look too bad, so not a bad idea on the ABT. This was a pretty nice gap on earnings over that red bar into a void, so it's like I said, not a terrible idea on on ABT. Otherwise, I really don't see anything, guys. My short list is all going higher. Netflix, Tesla, Cisco's looking a little lower, but again, it's right at that support at 48.30. So careful. KO chopping SPR. I suppose we can keep an eye on this SPR, guys. If it comes right back up to high of the day, we might consider getting into that. Like a 37-cent stop loss. This thing has plenty of range, so I'm not worried about that at all. So let's still watch the SPR. Intel finally looking weak, maybe. Honestly, Intel under low of the day, definitely tradable. It popped up early, now it's just been real weak. Ever since the market's kind of finding a little bit of bullishness, average range is 94 cents, so it's got some room to move. As Apple's trying a little bit harder. Like I said, I will not be taking this until it gets above the, or not above, but I mean, I like it to be above, but at the 166.75. I'll consider it then, but right here, right now, it's not for me. Microsoft weak. SO's looking pretty good right here, guys. So, in fact, I might just raise my stop up a little bit more. I'm gonna raise my stop just under that pivot. So about 72.86, right up here, right by that VWAP. So it'd be just over half an hour. We're thinking about swinging Hershey short. Let's figure out. This is a pretty strong stock to be treating short. You know what they say, the trend is your friend. If you had to pick a trend on this, I'm thinking it's higher. But it is an extended spot right here. So maybe let's short it at like the top of this channel. I mean, it is in a bit of a channel right here. So maybe you could short it and try to get it back down to 250. Yeah, not a bad idea, honestly. But then again, it could just consolidate for a while and break out again. So just be mindful of that trend and stuff. But I mean, there's a million ways to trade, guys. Just because it's not part of my plan doesn't mean it can't be part of yours. Yeah, right now at the moment it is a bit of a strong stock, but I do see what you're looking at. It is extended at the top of a channel, so maybe you try to get it pull back a little bit. I wouldn't ride this thing out. I wouldn't be swinging it forever, but Yeah, maybe get a hard target at like 250, short it down there. Not a bad spot. Kind of putting in a double top right now. So, yeah, not a bad idea. All right, guys. So, man, ABT was really nice today. Like, really nice. 1 minute. Really didn't see much on the 1 minute here. But 5 minute didn't look too bad. Otherwise, I'm not finding a whole lot. Markets are still pretty choppy at the moment. SPY's trying to go higher. I mean, it's dealing with that trend line now. We're on the backside of the trend line, and it's not having a good time. It is struggling. As SO is looking good right here. Keeps on moving on up. So we're up about a half an hour right here on SO. About a half an hour. Open risk is where we at? 05. So like 21-cent stop. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, about a half hour risk open on Southern Company SO. XOU ETF trying to break out as well. So we'll see if we can't keep riding that up. Because SPR is still a viable trade, viable option. I would really like it to come back up here to the high of the day and test this area. Get in with like a 37-cent stop loss. You need just over that whole number at 31. So you can make an argument to sneak in early, but it's aggressive. You're already getting in. A high of the day is already getting in under the resistance. But then again, you look at the resistance, and it really is just that one pivot right up here. So not a ton of concern getting into that spot, but still, you want to sneak in early and do that. It's like, come on, you gotta limit yourself a little bit. You can't just risk it all for the biscuit. You're gonna lose your biscuits. Um, yeah, SBR is the only thing that I'm really watching right now, guys. If you have any ideas, throw them up. Otherwise, I don't see really anything. Microsoft ended up just chopping around. Guild trying to move up. Very thin volume. So we're doing 300,000 shares today, so really nothing. As SO is looking good. SO is off to a good start here. We just need another 10 cents out of this thing, and we are at full target. So, in fact, I'm going to raise my stop up to 72.91. So now we're at, instead of that, was a 27-cent stop. Now it's a 12-cent stop. So yeah, that's less than half our risk right now. So we're pretty well protected on the SO. God damn, Netflix looks higher right here. I'm a little bit tempted to nibble some Netflix, man. Over high of the day. Give it $3 stop, maybe $3.50 on the stop loss. Not the best idea, especially considering it's a short idea. So probably not going to do that. That would be a break of my plan. I've done it before, and every time I do it, if it stops out, it's just like, what are you doing? And then if it works, it's like, what are you doing? You're just enforcing bad habits. That's one thing. Even if you break your plan and whatever you did still works. Say I got into Netflix long, which is an obvious break in my plan. Getting in a long trade on a short idea is a like clear cut example of breakage of my plan. Even if it worked and this thing ripped higher and I hit target, it doesn't matter. It's still a bad trade. It doesn't matter. It just reinforces bad habits. Just don't do that stuff. It's tempting. It is. There's times when you're very tempted Like you're messing with your stats when you do that. You're decreasing your odds. Because sometimes it will work. It will. Sometimes you'll do something stupid and it turns out all right, but doesn't mean just because it worked out doesn't mean it wasn't stupid. All right, guys. So actually, you know what? I was about to say I don't see myself taking anything else, but I'm still watching the SPR. I really dislike the volume. That is my big concern, guys. Big concern is the volume. Like I said, it'd be about a 37-cent stop loss. So yeah, I'm watching it. I don't love it. I really don't love it, but I'm gonna watch it. Oh, and Apple, I guess. I need to put Apple on a watch list so I can keep an eye on this thing. Apple doesn't look too bad, guys. Who mentioned Apple earlier? Was it Farhad? Yeah, Farhad. You still watching the Apple? It's not looking too bad. Man, it just needs to get over. Look at this. Look at the 15. This is my big concern with this. Might even be able to see it better on a 5. Yeah, look. Over high of the day on this, it doesn't look good. You got multiple pivots. We're not in that void yet, so it needs to be over this area. It needs to get over that area. At least for me personally, it's just, I mean, I'm an odds-based trader, you know? Whenever it gets over this area, the odds increase greatly. Under this area, not happening. So watch it over this blue line, 166.75. Still watching it? Nice. So RTX, Casey's looking at. Oops. Oh man, look at SO pulling in a little bit right here. Man, off to a great start. Up to, what was it? 20 cents. We need another 7 cents out of this thing. Man, so it went like 3/4 of an hour higher. Pulling in a little bit at the moment. Let's see if it can hold. All right, Casey, you're watching RTX. All right, let's check it out. So right off the bat, breaking out over a little bit of a range right here. It is mildly extended, so you're getting in at 105, so you're not in it just yet. Stop loss of 103. That's actually not a bad stop loss. A little bit tight. You don't have a whole lot of support holding you back, but not a bad area, especially because you're not in this thing yet. If this thing chopped around for another day or two, it would look a lot better over 105 because it is a little bit extended up here. But target at 108. Yeah, not a bad target either. You do have this resistance at 106, whatever it is. Yeah, 106. So be mindful of that. But yeah, this thing may pull back before it goes. So honestly, I would hope to not get triggered in yet. Let it pull back, retest, and then get it when it's a little bit less extended. But I mean, this is definitely one of the stronger stocks. Moving on up, putting in a double top, trying to break out of it. So yeah, not a bad idea. It's maybe a little bit extended, needs a little bit more time. All right, guys. So SPR is probably not gonna be traded. It just keeps getting worse. Apple, you guys know the deal on Apple. It's got to get up to that spot. SO, oof. SO is getting a little bit dicey. A little dicey right here, man. I want to see it hold that whole number. If it breaks 73, you can probably fork it. Under 73, I'm not a fan, but we're holding that spot so far. You can see on this 1 minute. In the 1 minute, it's really not a bad pullback at all. Had this nice breakout, we broke out. Now we're pulling back right at support. So we pull back at support, we're good. We break under this area of support right at 73. It's, well, watch out. Might be in for it. And ABT was the one today. This was, it was my top idea. Really nice gap. Because I really wasn't a huge fan of this pattern. And the buy setup, one big green bar with a topping tail, and then it pulled in. That's not anything to write home about, 2 minutes aggressive. It ripped, but it would have been a little bit tough to get in there, especially if it would have went up and pulled back, stopped you out. Yeah, it might have been harping yourself. Anything going off on the S&P 100? ABT, of course, it is. And MDT ripped. Look at that thing. It's a nice little 3-bar, 5-minute, 4-bar play right here as well. Just under resistance, but still not a bad idea. Duke Energy. Alright, yeah, I don't see much else that's going too much higher. XO's holding up. Here we are. UPS, a little bit interesting right here, low key. Again, thin on volume, a little bit of a spread. But this thing is into a void. It's up over this 195 area. Putting a little buy setup. A little bit tempted on this UPS. Might add it to my list here. Add the UPS. Otherwise, I don't see much else I like here. MO is too extended. It looks like it might go higher, but look at this hourly chart. 1, 2, how many bars up are we? Like 8 bars up in a row. If you go back here, it's 14, so 12 or 13 of the last 14 bars higher. A little bit extended for me. But Apple's making a big move up. Keep an eye on that thing over the 166.75. AXP. This thing is. You can watch AXP. It's kind of trying to get over this spot right here. A little bit underneath it though, so maybe keep an eye on it. You're in Apple? You got into the Apple? It doesn't look too bad, but like I said, that resistance is the spot you got to be worried about. If you get over that 166.75, you should be in the clear, but until it gets to that area, that's just me personally, my trading plan. So I'm sure you have a trading plan, you know what you're doing. As long as you're managing your risk and you're not just gambling, you can trade however you want. But yeah, Apple is definitely one of the stronger stocks out here. And I do like this thing too. I do like it. I just need it to be over that resistance. So you could probably argue we're getting in over high of the day right here. It's moving up a little bit more. Yeah, there we are, guys. We'll see. If it gives us a pattern the next couple minutes, I will be into the Apple. This is a good watch, Farhad. Definitely a solid watch. If it breaks out if it gets up this area, it should break out at least to 167. At least to 167. Yeah, it's close enough to that spot right now. So over high of the day, I will be looking for a pattern on Apple. Probably end up being somewhere right around VWAP with a stop loss. So I'd say 55 cents, maybe 60, 65. Still has plenty of range left. Average day is 280. It's only done $1.20. So watch the Apple. SO is moving up as well right here, guys. So Keep an eye on this. Honestly, I'm about to go break even on this thing, guys. I guess I don't want to move my stop up that early just yet, but I am going to move up just a little bit more here. Do I want to do that? Yeah. I'm going to go just below that whole number. 72.98. So now I have 7 cents times 30. Yeah. So I'm pretty good there. Pretty well protected on the SO Apple, kind of peekabooed over that area, hanging out right here. So yeah, guys, watch this. Where did you get in, Apple Farhad? Did you get in over this little area right here? Right at 166.50 spot. Right here. Stop loss down about a 60-cent stop maybe. You're up half an hour. I'm not sure if that's where you got in, but do you have any? I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you'd like to, you can definitely put in your parameters for the trade. And like I did on SO, like entry times by stop loss, whatever your entry is, and then whatever your stop loss is. Make sure you got an entry and stop loss. I mean, every trade has to have an entry, clearly, but I mean, some people don't trade with a stop loss, and I'll tell you what, that is a bad idea. Trading without a stop loss is not a good idea. You don't want to put those mental stops in there. Just put your stop in the system and let it be whatever it's going to be. Because mental stops, you're going to be bag holding and you're going to be a mental wreck. Just put that stop loss in there. And if your strategy's not working out, then you can adjust it a little bit. But this was my concern with Apple. Coming up here right at that resistance, and then, man, honestly though, I love it when stocks do this. Whenever they're like, man, there's resistance right there. It's probably not going to pop over that area, and then it does what you say it does. It's just like, oh, like wow. Maybe I actually can read a chart. There's times I doubt myself, man. There's times I'm like, oh man, what are you doing? I feel like I can't even read. But then stuff like that happens, and I'm like, yeah, it all makes sense, It all makes sense. But I mean, I haven't looked at the market in a while, guys, just because look at it. I mean, it's grinding higher, trying to. The Qs are just absolutely disgusting. And how many mornings have we had like this in April? I swear, I feel like it's at least 3 to 4 times a week where I'm sitting here like looking at this market and we're in like $1, $2 range and it's just utterly choppy. Like I feel like this is not a uncommon scenario. And I mean, but then again, you look at where we're at. Look at where we're at. We're in this range. So every day we're just chopping around. Frankly, I just want to get out of the area. Whatever it is, just get me out. Just get me out. Guys, I still am watching Apple. I still do like this thing, especially over high of the day now. Especially over high of the day. Like I said, it probably would be, I'd probably give it the 65 cents, 68 cents, give it that pivot right there. So definitely within range, but I'm not getting in if it goes right here. If it chops around for another 3 to 4 minutes, then I will definitely be considering it. Honestly, I'll probably the way it's retesting this high, if it chops around and completes this 5-minute bar without breaking out, I will be having an order in. I will put an order in if it does that. But hasn't done that just yet. You can see on this 1 minute, just tested it again. So yeah, keep an eye on the Apple. Keep an eye on it. Top watch. We're still in the SO. So SO is just kind of hanging out right here. I'm honestly just about to go to break even, guys. In fact, I'm going to give it just under that pivot, so 73.03. What would have been my original entry if I didn't get slippage. So basically at break even, guys. We got literally a tenth of an hour risk right now on SO, so no concerns with that one at all. Might as well be at break even. I figured I'll give it a little bit of room, give it the pivot at least, you know. So we need another nickel. We need 73.30, whereas 73.25 is the high. So one more nickel on SO, we're in there. Full target. Guys, this apple's looking pretty good. I'm gonna get an order ready. 166.79 by 166.11. 166.79 by 166.11. 68-cent stop loss. We're gonna need 167.5, a little less. All right, so we're looking at it right now. It's kind of going right here, you dog, Apple. It's trying to go right here, guys. So I might just end up getting in with a limit order. I need you to rest, dude. Give me that little bit of rest. So Apple's not giving us a chance to take it right here. So hold off on the Apple. Hold off. You're looking at CRBP, Columbus Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, this looks like some sort of health tech, biotech, news correlated stock that I probably don't know much about, and a little bit too thin on the volume for me to be trading. So, not much of an opinion on this one. Yeah, like I said, it's ripping higher, low volume. It's a health tech stock, so there's probably some sort of news pushing it up there. So, yeah, not exactly for me. Man, look at Apple ripping. There you go, Farhad. Getting it going. And CXT, this is another one kind of looks like. I guess it's not health tech, but a little bit lower volume. I guess it's doing good volume. Average volume's right at that 1 million area, but it's like an all-time high as well. So yeah, pretty strong move up. A little bit extended, so I'd wait for a pullback, but not a bad move. Not a super strong move actually. Is it like 33% in a month? Less than? Not bad at all. What is this exactly? Producer manufacturing. So yeah, the material sector has been up. Industrials have been up. So yeah, definitely a sector to watch. Keep an eye on it for a pullback or something. There's Apple getting it going. Apple on the move. What do we got new here? One page to follow them all. The updated market page. Ooh, look at that. Gotta check that out after I get off here. Got a new market page. Man, look at SO pulling in a little bit. Come on, baby. Come on, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Market's putting in a little bit of a red bar. Everything's kind of hanging out right here. So, all right. I'm going to be calling it a day here in just a couple minutes, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you throw it up in the chat log before I hop off. Not a bad day. Not a bad day by any means. We got this, just the one trade on SO, Southern Company. We are still in it. Stop is basically at break even. So pretty much a no harm, no foul trade. Need a little bit more out of it for full target. Really was just a choppy morning, guys. I mean, SPY and Qs both just very choppy, pretty tight range still on the SPY, even though it is kind of going higher at the moment. Qs, same thing, kind of grinding higher, but very tight range. Didn't have too much opportunity on the list. None of the long ideas looking too good. Short ideas were pretty sloppy, kind of moving up higher. So not a ton of opportunity. I think we did a good job navigating this market and staying out of trouble. Yeah, Apple keeps going. So if you like Apple, you might get another opportunity to trade it right at 167. It's at that whole number, so might chop around there for a bit. So keep an eye on the Apple. Microsoft, very choppy. So we got nothing else really here for you guys. You can watch UPS as well. It is pretty thin. It's not even at a million shares. Look at 500,000 shares like an hour into the day. So not a ton of volume there, but doesn't look too bad. Breaking out over this area, putting in a little breakout on the 5 minute. So maybe you get in with a 87-cent stop. You do have some range there, so not a bad idea on UPS. So you can watch that one if you like that. But otherwise, yeah, not a whole lot to trade here. So, yeah, we do have Tesla earnings today. Tesla's earnings are today. We'll see what happens there after market close, right? Yep. So, I wish I could do polls in here. Can I do polls? No. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of Tesla earnings? Is it going higher, lower, staying around, hanging out? Like tomorrow, is Tesla going to be at 200 tomorrow or 160? I bet it goes somewhere, that's for sure. You thinking it gaps up? All right, so we got one vote for gap up. Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, if you're twisting my arm, I'll probably say gap up as well. Mainly just because it's Tesla. Like that's like 90% of my reasons because it's Tesla. So it'll probably gap up just because no real reason, just no rhyme or reason, just because it's Tesla. So we'll see. Gap up, gap down. I imagine up to 200. I like it quite a bit. So definitely gonna be watching that. Man, look at the Apple just ripping Scotty Pippen. Oof, good stuff, Farhad. Good stuff. Again, didn't meet my criteria. Getting in under that resistance was it's not part of my plan. Not part of my plan, but it is doing a good job for you so far. So SO, oof, man, SO, this thing might tag this morning. It is what it is. Basically a break-even trade on the Southern Company. But with that, guys, I am going to call it a day. If you guys, come on, SO. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can send me an email. I will answer it ASAP. So otherwise, I'll be back here tomorrow morning. So appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, real fast, Casey. I'll look at this idea. My bad. LNTH over 91. A little bit extended, but it is breaking out over an all-time high. Stop at 85, so you got a little bit of room here. Oh man, there's SO. All right, but gap up, target 102. So yeah, not a bad trade, but I could see this thing pulling back and retesting this area before it goes higher. 87, 85. It is a little bit extended up, so not a bad trade though. But, all right, guys, there goes SO. We're out of it. Did you get any slippage? A little bit of slippage too, so decent size, decent little pullback there. But all right, guys, I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Until then, take care. Best luck to you.